It's for a good cause, I swear. By Sarah1281. Chapter 22. Neji's Monologue of Doom. And so the moral of the story is that you should never, ever, under any circumstances, ever run over the snake pedophile who is admitted to wanting your body. Naruto concluded. Teiuchi and his daughter Ayame just stared blankly at him. There's all well and good, Naruto, Teiuchi said finally. What does that have to do with your theory that turning Ichibakus into a Tsukemen shop would destroy the economy? It has everything to do with it, Naruto insisted. Sakura sighed heavily. That's always the moral of all Naruto's stories, no matter what they might be about. Really? Sasuke asked innocently. This has got to be the first I've heard of this. Too bad it sounds like a device. Naruto made a face at him. Sammy! Turning back to Teiuchi and Ayame, he continued seriously. But seriously, don't do it! Or if you do, at least leave your basic miso ramen with roasted pork fillet! Sure thing, Naruto. Ayame agreed, eyeing him a little strangely. If I could get that in writing, that would be great, Naruto started to say. Sakura whacked him on the head. Their word should be enough. Stop obsessing. Besides, if worse comes to worse, you can always manually combine them. I know, Naruto sulked, but it's just so Don't you dare, Sasuke warned. You guys never let me do anything, Naruto complained. Gaara looked on with mild confusion. You three are really friends? He sounded skeptical. Not by choice, Sasuke grumbled. They just wouldn't stop following me around and eventually I stopped caring. Why? I have been led to believe that friends acted less... Gaara hesitated, searching for the word. Hostile? Oh, friends do! Naruto assured him. But if you don't treat your friends well, they'll probably ditch you as a friend. Or else they have huge self-esteem issues, which you'll just make worse. Either way, not the best idea. Best friends are different, though, Sakura said. The three of us, along with Kakashi, we have a lot of history, and once that happens, the dynamic tends to change. Since you're more comfortable around each other, so you can tease each other more without having to worry about the other person getting offended, and if someone has a problem or overwhelming obsession, they're kind of expected to open up about it. Right, Sasuke? What? Sorry, Sakura, I'm just still marveling at how brilliant Naruto's moral was, and wondering why no one ever told me this before. It might have come in handy, you know, Sasuke told her. I don't understand, Gaara admitted. You will, Naruto assured him. I mean, we're your friends, and we've only known you for a little over a month. But why? Gaara pressed. Naruto shrugged. Since when did he ever need a reason to add someone to his friendship collection? Something told him mentioning the existence of said collection probably wouldn't go over very well. Because you're awesome! Although I recommend not following our example in that you don't try to kill any of your friends, Sakura advised. You guys have tried to kill each other. Gaara didn't sound surprised. Yes! Naruto nodded. Sasuke tried to kill me and Sakura, and Sakura tried to kill Sasuke! And Naruto tried to kill Sakura, Sasuke added. I'm kind of surprised he bothered because it's not like she was a threat when she came after me. That was an accident! Naruto protested. You still made me cry, Sakura declared, crossing her arms. Oh, come on, you cried all the time back then, Naruto pointed out. If Sasuke had been crying, real tears, not that creepy tears of blood stuff, then that might have gotten to me. Although I can't promise I wouldn't have found it hilarious to look back on. Why cry real tears when you can make it extra dramatic by making them tears of blood? Sasuke asked rhetorically. So you don't mess up your eyesight? Naruto decided to answer it anyway. I did not cry all the time, Sakura objected. Only when something really awful and traumatic happened. Which was all the time back then, Naruto reminded her. He turned to Gaara. But don't worry, we're mostly past all that now. Mostly? Gaara repeated. In my defense, I am Sasuke on my team, Naruto replied. The same for me, but with Naruto, Sasuke said, and he wears orange. And I have to put up with that, Sakura said, gesturing to the two glaring boys. Naruto jerked suddenly. Sakura, it's time! What? I knew I wouldn't make it in time, Sakura said as she jumped up. You could have left at any time, Sakura pointed out. And leave you two alone with poor fashionable, Gara? Sakura demanded. Not on your life! Try not to lose before we get there, would you? Sasuke requested. Sakura was only responsible to slam the door behind her. Gara blinked at that. Konoha is not normal. I know, isn't that great? Naruto grinned. Should we get going too? Sasuke asked. We'll get there when we get there, Naruto said dismissively. He waved Ayami back. Can I get another bowl? Kakashi couldn't remember the last time he was so grateful for Jiraiya's books. Shikamaru's match had lasted for over 4 hours. And strangely enough, his kids weren't back from their lunch yet. On the other hand, maybe it wasn't so strange, considering that Naruto was at a ramen bar. And Gara went too, and Kakashi really didn't have the faith in that boy's sanity that Naruto apparently did, so it was always a possibility that he snapped and tried to kill them all. He really hoped that wouldn't be the case, as that would lead to some inevitable delays, some paperwork on his part, and he'd be stuck there for hours upon end. Oh, and he would be quite put out if his team died, of course, but they could take care of themselves just fine. Probably. At least against Gara, as they'd already beaten him once. That day, in fact, exactly one timeline ago. Well, that was certainly something, Minato said, trying to be excited. Shikamaru had a brilliant strategy, and Tamari certainly had some nice moves there. Tamari was led around for the entire match by a boy who barely moved an inch and looked like he was asleep half the time. The Kazekage countered. I'm lucky that a boy is a certified genius, or sooner would have been even more embarrassed. Still, it was a sight better than how Kankuro did against the Hyuga prodigy. Naruto proved it would be rather difficult to do worse. And at least she's moving on, right? Kakashi pointed out. If I remember correctly, she'll be fighting Naruto next round, and goodness knows that boy is far too hyperactive to sit still for 5 minutes in the fight, let alone 240. There is that, I suppose. The Kazekage agreed. He burned up. Oh, and it will be my child against yours, Hokage-sama. Minato raised his eyebrows. Indeed! That should be an interesting matchup. Having temporarily been in the Hokage seat himself, Kakashi realized that was just Kage's speech for eternal bragging rights. That was not going to be a fun match either. Sakura rushed down to the arena floor to the sounds of Ino berating Shikamaru. Seriously? What part of I must have vengeance did you not understand? She demanded. I'm sorry, Ino, but I thought you were talking about Sasuke, or were Sasuke with your subject matter. Either way, I assumed Sasuke was somehow involved and quickly stopped caring. Shikamaru semi-apologized. But you beat her! You had her frozen and could have made her surrender! Ino cried. Why didn't you? I was out of chakra, Shikamaru explained, as I explained when I surrendered. Or am I not the only one guilty of not listening on this team? Out of chakra? Ino spluttered. You had enough to trap her while you were explaining your convoluted plan and needlessly suffering. If you had chakra for that, you had chakra to make her forfeit or knock yourself out or something. Maybe, Shikamaru allowed, but I wouldn't have any for the next fight. Ino reminded him. That's great, Ino, except I don't want to be here in the first place. Don't want to fight a second round. Definitely don't want to fight someone as troublesome as Naruto. And the only reason I could see for being promoted is not having to go through an exam like this again, Shikamaru countered. Besides, Tamari spoke up, real Kunoichi fight their own battles. Finish growing up and then challenge me to a rematch or something if you're that desperate. I will! Ino vowed. I have a new goal in life! You know, Tamari said idly, it's times like these that I understand why Kankuro hates kids so much. Sorry I'm late, Sakura said as she finally made her way over to her opponent. Finally, Neji said, sounding extremely irritated. You were in the bathroom for 25 minutes. What could possibly be taking so long? Okay, 2 things. 1, get used to it because people often spend a ridiculous amount of time in restrooms. 2, I'm a pubescent girl. Why would you ask me that? Sakura demanded. Kid's got a point, Obito said. You are really better off not asking. Anyway, let the hopefully more mobile 4th match between Yuga Neji and Haruto Sakura begin. You are going to lose this match, Neji informed her matter-of-factly. You don't know that, Sakura argued. We haven't even started fighting yet. And yet the outcome is predetermined, Neji insisted. Sakura groaned. Not more of this fake crap. There is nothing wrong in accepting that some things are inevitable. For instance, you have pink hair and will never be a chakra powerhouse. I am a Hugo Branch member and a prodigy. These are things about us that we cannot change. I have no problem fighting a girl, but facing someone as weak as you, well, it would simply be embarrassing for us both. Save yourself the pain and humiliation your friend Ino suffered, and just quit now. Goodness knows her loss can lead her to seek vengeance. Unlike Tamari, I don't live 3 days away, and you would actually be greatly inconvenienced if you were to regularly start challenging me to honor matches, or whatever such nonsense that you think might make you feel better of yourself. Sakura decided that this would be a lot less trying if he got it all out at the beginning instead of stopping every 5 seconds to deliver a speech about why he thought she sucked. She glanced to the upper left at the balcony where the other finalists were waiting. Sure, it looked like Naruto and Sasuke were there, but she knew they couldn't be back yet or Naruto would start giving a speech of his own. Since Neji still wasn't finished, she allowed her eyes to wander to the lower right before scanning the crowd. Her parents still hadn't committed to either being at the exam or missing it, and it would have been kind of nice to know. Maybe after the fight she could ask Neji to check for her if he was done being a fatalist. You can't fool my eyes, Neji said a little louder, perhaps able to see she wasn't listening. Against my pressure just now, you floated your eyes to the upper left. This is a sign that you are remembering your past experiences, your painful past. Yes, you can tell which direction I'm looking. Truly, the power of the Byakugan is great, Sakura said sarcastically. And I was actually just looking for my friends. But tell me, what do you know about my past that would make it painful? My tragically large forehead? Because looking back, it really wasn't all that noticeable, and I grew into it. Besides, even if I didn't, I have better things to worry about, and a forehead protector to boot. In favor of staying on topic and continuing his psychological assault on the pink-haired girl, Neji went on as if he hadn't heard her. And after that, you looked to the lower right. That's a sign that you are imagining physical and mental pain. Basically, you are thinking about yourself. And from all the experience until now, you are imagining the results of this match. Imaging that you'll lose. Sakura snorted. Please, like I need to imagine me losing. My teammates have already been doing quite a nice job of that for the past month. I believe in you, Kakashi called down. Not by choice, I'm sure, Sakura called back. Doesn't matter. It's more than you're getting from Naruto or Sasuke, Kakashi pointed out. See, not even your own team believes in you, Neji drawled. That's kind of pathetic. What's pathetic is how much my team sucks, Sakura countered. And say fate does exist and is not just an easy justification for the way things turned out after the fact. How in the world do you know what my fate is? Are you claiming to be able to see the future now? Hardly, Neji scoffed. That's the kind of thing that Sharingan users do. I feel so discriminated against, Kakashi sighed. Itachi shot up a strange look. For what? You're not an Uchiha and you don't have a Sharingan. By proxy, Kakashi hurriedly explained. For Obito and Sasuke, who are either busy being professional or aren't here to get outraged. Obito is not liable to care, Itachi noted, though Sasuke might swear vengeance. Some fights I believe I will win, but I'm not certain about. Sasuke, Naruto, and Gaara are all very powerful and don't necessarily have to let me within range for my gentle fist style to work. Lee, though a failure at most aspects of being a shinobi, is a master of taijutsu, and closing off his chakra won't affect him as badly as it would most. Even Tamari could conceivably use her fan to keep me out of striking range. You? Neji said dismissively. You're a pink-haired civilian who got through on the strength of her teammates' powers, and because Hinata-sama still has a long way to go before being anywhere near her full potential. I can't exactly help the hair, you know, Sakura huffed. I know, Neji nodded solemnly. It is fate. Our genetics, Sakura countered. Kami, I feel like you're going to accuse me of being a witch next. And I feel like this match is going nowhere. Somebody do something before I'm forced to take drastic measures, Obito threatened.
Fine, Neji grumbled. But after I beat you, I'm going to haunt your hospital room until I finish explaining just how and why you'll never amount to anything. Sakura shuddered. This just got serious.